Hey everyone, and welcome to the second Collaborator Instagram Musician Spotlight. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Seth Kitchen, and I run daily operations here in Springfield, Missouri. We run a GPS-based music application where we work hard to get our users more exposure, more revenue, collaborators, and one of the ways we can do that is through the stories you guys tell. What's up, Fiji? First time you're here, I think, and you too, Darrison. That's awesome. Wanted to say one of the ways we get these musicians more exposure is through this musician spotlight, but we also post out when new albums and new covers and things like that happen to our Instagram page, so right when they first come out you can see it. So if you're interested in telling your story, you can shoot us a DM on Instagram and we'll try and get you scheduled in so you can do something like this, or shoot us any other ideas you have because we're open to it. But today we have two solo artists that recently collaborated on a new album. It's called Church Buddies. Their names are Rizzy Black and You from Baltimore, Maryland. And we first heard Rizzy's music searching through SoundCloud, and the music's mostly rap, but it's got an element of comedy to it. It's kind of like if you've heard the song La 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 by Y2K. I think it's pretty similar to that. But we're interested to hear more about it, and so let's get them on the call real quick. Sent them the invite.
Yo.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. Here, let me turn you up.
Okay. So right off the bat, I got to ask you about your name. So I was like looking at Church Buddies, and it was saying that I was part of the album. It said you on it. So I want to know right off the bat, how'd you come up with that name? That's super unique.
Well, the short answer would be that my music, I want it to be a lot about community. I feel like if someone's listening to it and someone else is like, hey, what are you listening to? Is like, who's that by? You could say, oh, it's by you, because like I like my music to be relatable. So like I feel like whenever I make music, I'm like feeding off of like what other people are going through as well, and like adding my own interpretation about it. So like it's not just me, it's you.
Well, I appreciate that. I love being on an album. That's so awesome. So,
Yeah.
So about you guys in general, though, where'd you guys get your start at in music, and what got you into it?
You want to answer that?
You said about church.
Where did we get our music from?
Honestly, when we start out, I take Eddie's, and usually...
No. Where we get it from? Right?
So, like, when you start out, like, when you guys were, like, were you guys doing music when you were, like, kids? Or did you just start doing it a couple years ago? What's, like, the history going on? Yeah, sure.
I started out 2 years ago, and I started using GarageBand. My friend Jay had, like, an open studio, and he just had an Apple laptop and, like, a really terrible Blue Snowball mic. And it was something to start out with, so it wasn't bad, but I made a few songs in GarageBand, and that's how I started out.
I feel like GarageBand's a pretty common thing. You know, it just comes with the iPhone, so if that makes sense. What about you?
Not bad.
So I always liked music. Like I was in a marching band when I was a kid. If everything's okay.
Okay, so we just lost you for a second, but I think you're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I was surrounded by music growing up, and when I was like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, I like wrote this song, and it just like came to me. I just really liked it. And it was like the first time I like wrote a song, and then I like kind of produced it with. I never like put it out anywhere. I just like got this friend who knew how to use instruments. Like I had the words and I could sing it, but like I only know how to play a saxophone. So like, which I ended up using for it. So he played the drums, we recorded it, and it sounded really good. And from there, I just like started more and more writing songs, not knowing what to do with it. But how I got started with the production, like producing it, like, you know, we're friends and all. So like when he talks to me about his music, I was just like, I kind of want to learn how to do that if you could teach me how to. And he's just like, just feature on one of my songs. And
when
I was like,
this?
okay.
Was this pretty recently, or?
Yeah, probably like a year
was.
ago. Like when did Too Much Part 2 come out?
Too Much Part 2 came out last May.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really inspiring track, and his chorus is what makes it really inspiring, talking about investing in yourself.
Okay. So I brought up in my little intro. I think you guys sound a lot like Y2K. Is that someone you guys like are inspired by, or who do you
That
guys?
is. I should probably know who he is. I don't know a lot of like other musicians. I know
Okay.
that.
Well, but who are you inspired by? Do you guys have specific people, or are you just doing your own thing?
I'm inspired by Hoodie Allen. He's a New York rapper. I'm also inspired by this guy named Nathan Sharp, and he's from Virginia, but I'm pretty sure his hometown is California. Talks about in one of his songs too how the California sun incinerated who he is. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Growing up, my biggest like musical inspirations were probably like Michael Jackson. You know, without me knowing like all the information now.
Right. His music is still great though. You can't...
Yeah, his music's great, but you know, like we know common sense. And there doesn't need to be any controversy there. Let's see, and James Brown, like just people who were like really big voices, just like full of life and color. Elvis Presley even.
Honestly, me too.
Yeah, that was like when I was like a kid though, and then like I guess now like Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, people who just like sound different. My girlfriend even got me into she got me into Drake a little bit, and like I like that, you know, like because you know you have to be unique, but like also Drake really knows like the right concoction of like how to make a hot track and to get like a lot of people like tantalized to hear it, and you know, it's something I respect.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So walk us through kind of what your setup is like. Do you guys go to a studio? Do you have a home studio? What does your instrument setup look like?
You start with yours.
Well, basically, I just go to studios naturally because I don't really have anything at home I can do due to my like family life and like kids being in my house. But other than that, I just go to studios and like pay for like Pro Tools and stuff like that to be used.
And is that nearby you, or do you have to drive a long ways to get there, or what's the studio?
It's only like a 30-minute drive, but in like Baltimore City, so it's not that bad. And a lot of the studios there are very like high quality, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah. We recorded Church Buddies at this place called Fly Zone Studios. So you know, if you guys want to look it up, it's literally that's like what they are. It's just at Fly Zone Studios. So we're pretty awesome. They also do like photography work, and they make music videos. So it's like a lot of cool stuff that they do in one studio. But one of my singles, I just kind of did on my own. I have a music pad. It's a Machine Micro.
Okay.
And I just like made a quick beat because like in order to make a Spotify, I had to first like put out a single, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to have a Spotify for when Church Buddies came out. So I just like quickly made a cool beat and just like explained who I was. It was kind of like a little techno thing, and I just like edited that with like the music pad and Audacity. You know, I used to run a podcast when I was in college, so like I have some experience with like at sound editing.
So are you guys 100% your own beats, or do you like use BeatStars to get some extra beats, or how does that work?
Honestly, we use YouTube, and then from YouTube we go to whatever beat website is in the YouTube description of the producer. I know there are a lot of people out here nowadays in the music industry who does steal beats. Honestly, That's terrible because you can also go to jail for that if caught, but not anybody's going to get caught. But it's a lot better to buy beats, and that's exactly what we do.
Yeah, like kind of going into the process of like what we did for Church Buddies. Like we would just like hang out, we would drive together, and like we were just like, all right, let's start writing. Let's just look for beats. We would type in like if we wanted to like a certain type of like catchy beat or like I don't know, a genre, we would just like type in like a rapper that's well associated with that. So like Chance the Rapper type beats.
Okay.
And then it would just like come up with a bunch of stuff, and like we found this one guy, GC Beats. Amazing. He has like the flyest stuff. It's not like this. It's just so alternative, but it works so well for rap. And so like for all of the songs on Church Buddies is by GC Beats, except for Intermission, which is by Mixtape Soul.
Do you know, is he in Maryland as well, or where's he out of?
I have no idea.
Honestly, I'm not sure where he's based.
So that's what's cool about it, right? Is you guys collaborate with people from all over, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. I in the future I do want to produce, like I'm in 2020 I'm probably going to make my own like personal album, and I want all the music in 2020. Yeah. I want to have all the music to be originally composed, which is why I'm like excited that like I'm starting to like get a following now, because like a lot of people are just like, oh cool, he's serious about this, and it kind of like makes other creative people around me like be like, hey, I'm creative too, and I'm like, that's awesome, I need that, let's do this together.
Yeah, for sure. So my favorite song on your guys' new album is "Drink Water." I was like laughing when I was listening to it, but at the same time, it's like really good, so it like keeps me going back to it. But so can you kind of walk us through kind of the idea for the song, like where it came from? How do you guys generate other ideas for new songs and things like that?
So honestly, I drink about 2 to 4 water bottles a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes even more than that. And I just realized that like if I keep drinking water, I'm gonna keep being healthier and hydrated.
Oh yeah.
I don't like
It's good
drinking
for your
soda.
skin.
Yeah, it's really good for your skin. Like I don't have like as much acne as I used to because I drink so much water now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to upgrade to getting like a water canteen for us, so we don't have to keep using water bottles. But
you can
yeah.
sell that as merch, right? Like that would be
Yeah.
merch for you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. Like a lot of times, like our practice sessions or writing sessions, like bring us to like places like Walmart. Right now, this is actually the parking lot that we took the picture of the cover album.
Yeah, I recognized it. It's good.
Yeah, like this is the car. This is the parking lot. But anyways, we were during some of that time. Sometimes we get some creative inspiration from legally having some marijuanas.
The cannabis.
The cannabis. I have a medical card, so I smoke mine, and then he has. You usually just take Eddies, right?
I usually just take Eddies. I had a lung collapse last year,
Wow.
so I can't smoke. But edibles are honestly better for me. It's that way I don't destroy my lungs.
Do you have a song talking about that? That seems like that would be kind of some content.
Honestly,
to write about.
I've been thinking about doing that, and I thank you for that idea because that makes me want to do it even more.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do it.
I'm interested
Do
to
it.
hear about it. So.
Oh yeah.
I honestly need to put that into a song.
So you know what happens when you are under the influence, and so you become really dry. And when we got back to his place, when we were listening to the beat, we were just like, "What should this beat be about?" And I was like, "Dude, I freaking need water, dude. Like, I need some fucking water."
That's making a lot more sense now. I get it.
Yeah, and we were just like, you know what? Let's make it about water.
Drink water.
It's so good. Like, people need to just do that more. I haven't drinking water all day. It's like, let's do it. Let's make it about water. Why not? Like, this is like a pretty cool beat anyways. Like, why not just make it weird?
It is. It was a very alternative beat.
Uh-huh.
So, but like, what about when you guys are by yourself? Is it the same process? It's like, it's not fun getting high by yourself, right? I mean,
No,
I do that.
Yeah,
oh, you do that?
like,
Okay.
I use it as a tool. You know, I'm not just, I don't get high because like, oh, I can only write when I'm high. Like, I can write whenever I want. It's just like, whenever I have time for myself, sometimes I like to reflect, and usually I use marijuana to just be able to put myself in a different perspective so that I will be able to more holistically be mindful, meditate, have clear thoughts about what I want to do, and it's just also just loosens you up, you know?
Oh, yeah.
In a less, not like alcohol would loosen you up, it just kind of like, I don't know, it just like like I said, it puts you in a different perspective. It doesn't really make things better, it just like puts you, it adds things on that like can help you be able to think of things that you normally wouldn't think about.
Honestly,
Hey, Dystonics is doing an AO. Hey, what's up, Dystonics? Welcome
Hey,
back.
what's up?
What's good?
He's like, hey, yo, man, true.
Do you guys know each other? Because I realize you guys are both from Maryland. Had you guys met each other before?
Actually, he was in the last interview, and I was watching the interview. That's how I found out about him. I actually DM'd him after that, too. Got connected.
So I'm saying maybe he can make some beats for you. That would be pretty cool.
Honestly, we were talking about that. I need to get back to him about that. I forgot about that.
True.
I need to DM him back. But I was also going to go off of what you was just saying, because I honestly feel that I never take weed in the start of my day. I wait until my day is almost over, and I use it to reflect and meditate on my day and see what I can do better tomorrow and what I can change.
Yeah.
And usually what inspires me a lot is I take an edible, and I'm high, and I get in the shower and I listen to a lot of music.
Oh,
And I
sweet.
get in the mindset of music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my process.
It's really nice to like ride the wave down.
Yeah.
Like you just like have the peak when you're just like, you know, taking a shower or like just listening to music, and it like inspires you, and then like as you're coming down, you can kind of just like coherently, you know, just cruise along with like feeling the music. Like honestly, that's how we wrote most of the music. We were just like really feeling the beats that we listened to, and we were just like, we found like a tempo, and we're like, we kind of want it. We have a theme, and we just start writing on our own. So like sometimes we write for church buddies on our own. Sometimes we do it together. But like if we ever just like hear a beat on YouTube that we really like, we just send it to each other and be like, "Yo, what do you think of this?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wait a second,
Hey,
Dixon.
Vistani.
He said, "I'll make y'all some beats." Thank you.
We appreciate that. I'll message you after this. Or we will.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like the purpose of our platform here is we want to be connecting you guys. Like that's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome. If you
I
guys
really
release
like
that,
that
let us know.
idea.
We'll push that out and stuff. So we'll do some publicity for that.
Can I ask you? I know that you're the interviewer, but can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When did you start this, and like, what was the idea behind it?
Yeah.
It
So
sounds really awesome.
I started this in May, just right out of college. The app got invested in, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this. But I started thinking about it in high school. Like I play like keyboard and stuff like that. And I had a buddy that played guitar, someone that sang vocals, but there's no one at my school that played drums. So if we had an app that was local, we could find a local drummer, we could have connected with them, had a better band, that sort of thing. And then also when I was working at a job, one of my friends was like, yeah, it'd be really cool if like you could add stems on other people's stems and stuff like that. So if you're like lonely, you can still work with people from across the world and stuff like that. So, and the best way to get tracks for that is just to like, get in touch with you guys and try to do some publicity for you guys. So it all just kind of came together.
That's really cool. So like, you kind of created this in order to be able to be like the middleman of like connecting people in a way.
Yeah, that's actually the goal too, is we think the music industry is kind of messed up right now. Musicians don't make enough money, don't get enough exposure, that sort of thing. So we're trying to transition that. If we can become the all man for that, we can, make it a much better place for you guys.
Yo, hola compadre.
I really appreciate that. I honestly love the idea of your app. Like,
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of leads into my next question though too, is like what you guys are struggling with, what your goals are, and how we would be able to help you as a platform to do that.
Hey, honestly, if you don't mind, I could
Go
set this
for it.
one
Yeah,
up.
go for it.
Lately, I've been having trouble with finding some other people to collab with and like producers, because like all they want is money.
Right.
And it's like I'm trying to do stuff for free with people that I know. That way, it's just like it's a friend thing, and it's just like it's mutual. It's like,
I feel like
just wanna
better
create
things
stuff.
come out of that too, because you're both
Yeah.
like connecting with each other. It's not just some business, thing to go on.
Yeah, exactly. Because once the money is like, once the transaction is done, it's just like they just put out whatever they feel like it.
Yeah, then you have to wait, and it's like I've been waiting on this one feature that I just got recently for like a whole 2 months, and it's like I paid $80 for that. I wasn't trying to wait 2 months,
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate people taking themselves seriously. Like, if you know that like your art is worth something, then you should obviously like treat yourself that way, But
Exactly.
like when you're at like a place where you're just trying to make music, it's not really about like, it's really hard to find other people who have like the same passion. Some people have a passion of like getting big with music, and that's fine. But then like people like Rizzy and I, like, we really just want to make a difference. It's not really about the money. It's not really about the fame. Obviously, we want a lot of people to see it, but that's because we want to reach a wide audience and like spread that positivity. So it's less about like being self-benefiting ourselves.
Trying to make a change.
I want to ask Rizzy a little bit about, getting out there, because, he has like 25,000 followers on Instagram or something like that. Can you tell us how you got that audience and how you're still growing it and that sort of thing?
Yeah, can you tell me?
Yes.
Because I would like that too.
So there's this old app, and right now it's called TikTok, and it used to be called Musical.ly, and I love Musical.ly, and honestly, my friend was on it, and he was just blowing up, I went to school with him, and we were just like best friends. So we just started doing stuff together on Musically, and my page started to grow as we did that. So honestly, props to Reagan Beast, because he made me who I am today and gave me the support that I needed. And honestly, without him, I wouldn't have any of the supporters or fans that I have now. And basically, I started shouting out my Instagram after I had followers on Musically, because I was also, before, I was doing a ton of edits and picture edits because I like photography and videography.
Right.
I used to do a lot of like Call of Duty edits and stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah.
all that's like in my range. I wanted to shout that out more too. So I told people to follow me on Instagram.
I remember that.
You do?
Yeah.
Those days were wild.
I'm impressed. So hopefully we'll be there someday too. So
I believe you
I
will.
know. I believe you will.
You guys, with the ideas and creativity and the mindset you have right now, it's great. And I know that you're going to go somewhere.
You just got to keep going.
Just got to keep investing in yourself.
So what would you guys say to someone who's just starting out who needs to find an audience too? Like, what are some of the feedback you'd give them?
Go for it.
Honestly, if you're going to start out, try to find a good place to start first. Whether it's crappy or not, just do something, go with it. And if you like it, that's all that matters. If other people don't like it, screw their opinion, you know? It's
Right.
all about you and what you think about it. I just got to keep doing it and not give up.
That's
exactly
true.
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. I would say if you're going to start any kind of project that has to do with creativity, you have to know why. Like, a lot of people are just like, oh, I want to do that. Then they get so caught up with the idea of like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then whenever I ask them why, they're just like, I don't know. I just want to. Like, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. Or like, I want people to like follow me. I'm just like, but you don't really, you have like no foundation for what you want to do. And if you don't have a foundation, then it's going to crumble really easily. You know, you have to, what makes you you?
Right.
You know? So if you don't have like a theme, or you're just like copying other people, or you're just like putting stuff out there that doesn't make sense, you're just like doing it just to do it, then like people are going to notice that. That's the energy that you're putting in. What you put into your work comes out of it. So like if you're not ready to put in everything that is you, then you won't go far, because you're not going to have fun, you know? Like if you want to start off, then you have to be okay with starting off by yourself, you know?
Right.
You have to be okay with like the fact that not everyone it's not going to become big right away. You're going to have to deal with like the only having like a few likes, not having a lot of followers for weeks.
Right.
You
So-
have to deal with that rejection.
So how much time do you guys spend, on a weekly basis or daily basis on your music?
Honestly, I spend about 3 to 4 hours a day working
Whoa.
on music.
Wow.
Or just thinking about it and new ideas that I will someday put into creation, but sometimes I just flip it over and think about something else, music related, or I end up doing it right away and just going at it.
So that's the kind of work they'd have to put in, right? That's a huge commitment. It's 3 to 4 hours a day, you know?
Yeah, that's true. You have to put in the time. I don't do it like 3 or 4 hours each day. Like I think that when I know that I try to do it at least twice a week, where like I find time where I'm not doing anything, and instead of playing video games or watching TV or eating, I will just sit down and say, all right, let's see what kind of inspiration I can come up with right now. Like, just start listening to beats, just write something, just write a poem or whatever. Like,
I do that too.
I don't know. Like whenever you have an idea for something, just immediately write it down.
Right. So do you
Because
guys?
go
That's
ahead.
one thing I was thinking about before too. Is can you guys like find other people's poetry online and then somehow convert that into a song, or you wouldn't want to touch that because that's their poem?
I've never been put in that position where I've like saw someone else's poetry. I've definitely been inspired when I listen to other music. I'm like, I like the tempo, or I like the style, but I would never like, if someone was like making a song about unicorns, I'm not going to make a song about unicorns too.
Right.
You know?
Honestly, I feel the same way about something else. It's not about poems that I see. It's about like some songs that I see that I would want to cover or like
Oh, true.
translate it in my own way, but with the same beat.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's like also a different form of poetry. Like when
Yeah,
I took a
that's true.
poetry class, sometimes like you make a poem as a response to another poem that you read, and it could be similar or like your own thing, but it still is like connected somehow to it, and I think that's somehow to it, and I think that's awesome. It's just like art reflecting art.
Yep.
Sure. So what's next for you guys? What are you guys going to do next? You're going to do another collaboration album? You get putting out your individual albums? I heard 2020. Is that the next step, or get them back?
I'm gonna let him.
Okay, we just got you back.
Yeah, cool.
Me?
Yeah, you go for it. You go for it
Okay.
first.
So we both have a few projects coming up. First thing is we have 2 singles, and I have a song coming out on Christmas and one coming out on Thanksgiving. They are not holiday songs, but they have some theme to the holiday that I like. Like with the Christmas song, there's a picture I chose for it that has a lot of Christmas lights, and the song kind of has like almost like a Christmas jingle to it, but it doesn't have the Christmas flow. It doesn't say anything about Christmas.
Right.
And yeah, we both have 2 singles that we're gonna be coming out with very soon in the winter. We're gonna record it. We're gonna go to the recording session.
Blazon Studios.
Yeah, Fly Zone Studios, and we're gonna go there in mid-November to just do all of it. My 2 singles, one of them, the most recent one that's gonna come, I can't talk about.
Okay.
It's a secret.
Okay.
Not even gonna tell my girlfriend about it. And which she's pissed about because I always just like keep her in the loop of everything. And I'm like, this one song, you have to trust me. But I did put a little teaser of it on my page, so if you're interested in that, you'll see the little teaser. But then the next one is called 2020 Vision, and I'm gonna release that on New Year's. It's gonna like kind of bring in 2020 because I'm just like, I like it's like
I love the play.
vision.
I remember like 5 years ago where they're like, "What's your 5-year plan?" Or whatever. And they're like, "I don't know. I don't have 2020 vision." So it's like there's gonna be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's like a double entendre. It's or I don't know if that's the right word.
I think that
Double meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a double meaning. So it's like cool.
So I think that's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we go, or
just like the only thing that's ever going to hold you back is you. Like you can blame your environment, you can blame like a lack of money, lack of resources, lack of friends, lack of opportunities, but like that's going to amplify how you're feeling, but at the same time your environment is only only from your perception of it. So if you change your mindset about what's around you and what's inside of you, then you're good. Just it's all about fear and knowing how to just like stop trying to run away from it. You can't run away from it because it's you. Everything that's good and everything that's bad is you, and if you want to make a change, it's going to start with you always. There's no shortcut in that. So it doesn't matter if you want to do something creative or anything in life. I don't care. Just be honest with yourself.
For me,
Sure.
I want to tell everybody, you need to just let go of any past regrets or anything in your past, because what matters is the future here and right now. And what I learned from one of my songs is expectations are too high, and you don't need those expectations. You just got to let it go. You need to spread your wings and fly away.
Just fly.
Just fly and be you, because that's all that matters is you.
Yeah, be you.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us and for telling us your story.
We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Like,
keep it up. I'm looking forward to hearing your singles. So
we appreciate
get some beats with Dystonics. That's going to be great when that happens.
Oh yeah, I need to look into that.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Having a good
you.
night.
You
Bye,
too.
guys.
All right, cool. That was the end of this Instagram Spotlight. Hopefully you'll join us for the next one. We haven't actually gotten the who it's going to be yet, but we'll release that pretty soon. Shoot us a DM if you're interested in doing one of these interviews, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys.